Okay. Let's see how this works out. I'm switching back over to Restream with the hope being that I'll be able to hit all my stuff at once. And it looks like it might be working. Well, let's go check. Check our dashboard. We'll be doing some dev work today. Got a few plans. Okay, so that's working. Now, is Twitch working? Might not be. Let's find out.
We're all already...
Oh, don't need to hear somebody else's stream. That's not why I'm here. Yeah, that looks like me. Okay, cool. So it is working. And let's check, because you can never open too many things. Nito Bandito. Okay. So, yeah. All right. Back to what I was going to say. So I've done a little bit since the last time we streamed. Let's see here. So we've got our little generic menu for getting in. Nothing super exciting. That takes us to this screen here, which is where we'll be doing a lot of our work. As you can see, we've got full controls now, finally. So I need to add speed and stuff later to the zooming, but we'll be able to move around this whole surface. So now we just need to go into one sec. I just realized I won't have access to the chat if anyone talks to me. And that'll be awkward. There we go. Okay. But as I was saying, so we need to go through and make some edits to how we're placing buildings. Because previously we were doing it with those arrows, you may remember, but that's not actually gonna work super great for us. Not anymore. And I just got kind of tired, frankly, of dealing with sorting for 2D buildings. So now we're going to go through and we're going to sort with 3D. Well, we don't have to sort at all with 3D, but we're going to use 3D so that we don't have to. And I think that will just make everything a lot nicer. So, all right. First thing, so this is the code that we're using for snapping the building. So we need to do a few things. We have our handling, which is, let's grab our update loop and move it up here. Put that down here. And we need to say a few things. Namely, if game data dot state, game state equals, game data with a lowercase g. Game state equals build. Then we'll do some fun stuff. Game data dot game state dot play. That'll be our moving around, and we'll work on it from there. So this all we don't need to worry about for now. Raycast on point. What was I doing for that? Oh, that was the clickable stuff. Okay, so we can actually. Real quick, what I'm going to do before I get started is I'm going to open up source tree and actually commit what I've got going on so far. And then after we do that, then I'm going to start going ham and cheese on... Yeah, ham and cheese for sure. Interesting. Why can't we see that? When I turn off all my displays, you don't see the background. That's weird. I'll fix that later. Not a big deal. But gonna give my commit a nice clean message. That doesn't tell me at all what it's doing because that's important. You want to make sure that when you look back over your commits, you have no idea what you were doing or why you committed. Okay, so now that that's done, come back to showing because frankly I don't want to mess stuff up. Okay, so doot. And yes. Okay. So if we are in building, then we need to do a separate kind of raycast. So private void place building. And this may not even be where we want it, the code to be, but we're going to do it here for now, just because this is where all of our other camera-related control stuff is happening. And then if we decide later that we don't like it here, then we can move it. And nobody will be the wiser. So that's that. So now, if we save and go back to our game... What's our compiler error? Ah, yes, we do not have the test room currently. So we actually want to put that in game data. Whoop, wrong button. So we're going to go into game data. And, room. Oh, that's the rooms themselves. It's not an actual... Yeah, we'll put it here. Private, transform... Or actually, game object is fine. Game object test room equals null. Come in here, we'll serialize it so that we can go back into here. And once that is done, we will grab game data, which should be under universal content, I believe. It is. Cool, I like when I put things in a reasonably obvious location. And then... Did I save? I thought I saved. Private game object test room under game data. Am I just blind? Feeling it. I'm feeling it. Let's see real quick. Does that show up? It doesn't because we have a compile time error still. Duh. It gives you an idea of how awake I am right now. And game data. Test. All right, we actually need to make it public for this work. We could add a getter, but we're not going to worry about that for now. And then temp room. Oh. That's good, and that's good, and that's good. Save. Go back over here. That's all good. And then now we will actually see it here. Assuming I got rid of all my... I did. Awesome. Okay. And then I believe the room we want is this upper one? No. We want the lower one? Yes. I foolishly put both of my Blender renders in the same folder. I'll have to fix that later. Okay, so we'll come over here. Load up the window. We can move around. We'll go into game data. We'll set it over to build. And now when we click, we build, eh? Huh? Yeah. Hot sauce. Okay. Now we'll go back over. We'll set it to play. And we should add in some buttons. So the current way that we are doing the GUI for... Whoops. That's fine. I can reload it. The current way we are doing the GUI for... Sorry. Open scene additive. Is it's part of the actual mansion scene, but we don't necessarily want that. We would like to just have a scene for our overlay. Because then we don't have to worry about it, right? It'll just always be its own thing. We can load it, edit it. We don't have to worry about seeing other things in the scene at the same time, which gets rid of one of my biggest annoyances with canvases in general. Overlay canvases in general, to be perfectly clear. So we'll add in a new folder, 05_UI. Yeah, let's go with GUI, because GUI's more fun to say. And scene. We say scenes plural, but realistically there's only going to be one. And then we'll say GUI scene. Open additively. We're going to see if we can just snipe the canvas and bring it over here. And we can. We'll delete that. Directional light will stay. Quad will stay. All right. Save. We need to make this camera not the main camera. It's just a GUI camera. And we need it to be, we'll say 10, even though it's going to be overlay that it's going to be rendering to. Solid color. We'll fix culling masks and stuff later, but they're fine for now. We're not trying to waste our time doing, like, what am I trying to say? We're not trying to waste our time in, there you go, getting everything to be perfect immediately. You want to get it done first, and then work on, okay. Work on optimization, that sort of stuff. All right, so none of this matters. Oh, I see what's happening. Okay, so we actually will keep it as camera. Boop, there we go. It was complaining that the main camera's in a different scene. Totally fair, totally fair. That's fine. We actually don't care. And canvas is already set up. We'll do that. 1920 by 1080 is still the most common resolution that people use, so we'll go with that. Okay, solid color's fine, background's fine. Say, actually, do we want that to be don't clear? Yes, we do. Because it'll be loaded on top of other things, so we don't want to have to deal with we don't want to deal with it putting a blue color over the layers that are behind it. All right, so we're going to add a few buttons here. What's this one do? Whole lot of nothing right now. Well, that's fun. Well, let's add another one. We're going to call this the build button. And we'll add another one. We'll call this the play button. Although we're not going to really have a play button. I'm just doing that for testing for now. Because what's going to happen is when you exit out a building, it'll just go back to playing. Play. All right, and then we need these buttons to do something. Makes sense, right? Why else would you make buttons? So we will have, debating how I want to do that. Under the GUI, we'll create a folder for buttons, and we'll create a do we just want to have a master class for these things? I kind of feel like we do, yeah. We'll just go with game menu. Create script game menu. Wow, okay. Yeah, sure. If you want to be a capital E, I suppose that's your prerogative, but let's fix that. Oh dear. Is that going to cause me a bit of a headache? Okay, I think. No! Windows. Apple cares about casing, but Windows doesn't. We're gonna just delete this, because that's gonna drive me nuts. It's actually one of those things that can really bite you in the butt if you're working between people and one of you is on an Apple machine and another one is not. Because the Apple machine is likely to get very upset that something isn't the right casing, and Windows is just like, YOLO, it's all the same to me. Private. Game data. We'll serialize that bad boy. Public void on play pressed. Public void on build pressed. And public void on adventure pressed. This latter one's not going to do anything today. You could also just make a function that they're all in, but I'm not going to do that. So log format. Adventure let's pressed. I actually didn't need to do log format, but you know what? We've already done it. It's already happened. This is our life now. We're just gonna go with the flow. Dot game state equals play. Oh right, we have to use set state. I remember. I remember. Change state. Okay, and we don't even have an adventure state. I think that one's actually going to be, this is likely a scene load. Okay. That's good. And then we can go back to the game scene. And the reason I'm doing this is because these buttons are going to be associated with this menu forever. So there's no real reason to disassociate everything. You don't need to make things more complicated than they need to be. I have a bad habit of doing that from time to time. It's very easy to know enough to screw yourself when you get into development. And you have to occasionally just take a moment to sit back and ask yourself if that's what you're currently doing. Is what you're doing actually going to get your work done, or is it just going to be something you can brag about to other people? Because I have met some folks who, they brag all day about all these structures and things that they've made and how cool their systems are, and they ask, you know, have you finished anything? Like, have you used those on anything? Oh, no. And it's kind of like world building with creative writing, is that it's so much fun to world build, but man, when you have to actually do the writing, I mean, I love writing, but still, it's a lot harder. Like, just faffing about world building for hours that's the good stuff. And there is a development equivalent of that. Alright, so we'll come back in. And we can see here, this scene works. Move around, we can see our number of coins, I believe it was, up here. And then we've got our buttons down here. If we hit build, okay, we can see these. We're going to have to get rid of these because we're not using them anymore. But in the background, we can see that we can place buildings. So let's go back to our mansion scene. We're going to delete that. And then we're actually going to get rid of the... Oh, maybe we're not getting rid of that. Thinking. Yes, we are. So that saves us some code, and then we can actually go over into the game area. And we want to keep our camera controller. GUI currency can move over to here. You can do it, buddy. It's compiling. I do really like Unity 2020, but 2020 and 2021 have this issue where occasionally they just infinitely load, like they never finish compiling or anything. And if you haven't saved it a little bit, it's absolutely triggering. Hopefully they'll figure it out and fix that, but I won't get my hopes up. And so you can actually transfer objects from one scene to another scene. So when I go to do things later where, like, say, coins go up to currencies and stuff that are in the window, that'll be totally fine because we can just transfer the object over to the scene where it needs to go towards something and then have it go towards that thing. So it's not at all a problem. It is something that has crossed my mind, and it is fine. I will keep this arrow because I'm very fond of it. But actually, I guess I have it saved on my computer anyway, so we can just nuke it. Don't need that, don't need that, don't need that. Man, getting rid of entire folders. How cathartic. We don't need these room pieces anymore. But we will probably go into Blender soon and draw... add some sort of texturing to our building, because I'll show you what's going on currently. Oh, what did I forget? Oh, that's fine. We don't need that for now. Oh, let's keep this, but we'll get rid of this event. Okay. Anyone else connected? Nope. This wasn't intended, but we'll fix that later. That's just some... Okay, so we're going to play... Yeah, it did work, right? Yeah, it is in play mode. So we're noticing that it's not putting down buildings. So let's go check our camera. Oh, did I delete... I may have actually deleted the camera controller entirely, huh? No, it's right there. Let's see, what's up? What would stop you from working? Oh, I think I clicked play instead of build. That'll do it. Then click build. Okay. Oh, you can see right now that this camera is rendering... There we go. Okay, so we're gonna actually switch... We'll switch the UI camera to just rendering the UI. What a novel thought that is, huh? Okay. Huh? Do they? This song's oddly familiar. Alright, so we'll switch it over to build. And so you can see, if we come over here, that I have done a little bit of drawing on it. I was learning about UV mapping. I was just putting the sides, and it occurred to me after I had written all over it like a silly goose that I could have just put Text Mesh Pro meshes in these corners and kept it nice and pristine. And the reason it would have been nice to keep it pristine is, let's see here. Ah, okay, so that's all that was. The reason it would have been nice to keep it pristine is if we go into the place building, we should be able to reach, let's see here. So temp room dot, we're gonna actually try and get a list of, it's gonna be materials? I think it's gonna be materials. We'll say array of materials. Materials equals temp room dot get component in children material. And then for, oh, what are you complaining about? Is it gonna be off a transform? Oh, components, sorry. Components in children. For each material, in materials. I always love when it works out like that. Material. We probably actually should have given them a slightly different name. Otherwise, it's going to be material, but whatever. Is it just... Ooh. Oh, that's just the name of different colors. I don't feel like that's correct. But let's try it out. New color, random.range, 0 to 55, I think it is, random. I can never remember if, when you're doing it in code, if it's 0 to 1 or 0 to 255. It is a mystery that will only be solved once we hit play. Now, hopefully this is not the shared material, but the material that's cloned when this object is made. Get component required is that the requested component material derived from mono. Okay, well, let's go look at what we're looking at. Mesh render.materials, perhaps? And we'll change this to meshes. Change this to mesh. And mesh.material. Okay. Dot color. Let's try that. Okay. So I think it might be 0 to 1. Just call it a hunch. They are very white. Maybe not, actually. Okay, so let's go look at a different one. What is it about you that is making you white instead of what you are right now? Interesting. So if I put in the value again, this is the value that it was, comes out correct. All right, let's do a quick googly Google. All right, let's see here. Ah, so it is 0 to 1, it sounds like. Oh, no, that seems very dark. So this person on the interwebs is Rongo Dodongo. Well then, let's try making it just green. Because if that works, then we'll go from there. That's really what you do, right? You just piece it together, one step at a time. Ah, hydration. It's nice. Uh-oh. Remember what I was talking about earlier? Get stuck in play mode forever? Yeah, that's always flippin-tastic. Hopefully... I gotta destroy it. Hopefully they'll figure this out. Looks like I've been saving my scene work, so at least we're not getting screwed there. But I'd be lying if I didn't say it was annoying. And they seem a little bit incredulous on the forums when people bring up that this is an issue, which is not a good... Interesting. There's a log that is stuck. Alright, we'll give it a second. Okay. Well, I can assure you that it is not. It was saying that the project was already open. Am I gonna have to go find all the processes and take care of this that way? No. Okay. 50th time's a charm, apparently. Alright, so back to us seeing what's going on. So I need to reload a few things, annoyingly. There's no real rhyme or reason to the order of the scenes that for me right now. I just kind of set it up to fit my brain space. this is depth 0. And that's depth 1. Okay, and we do want that to actually render over the thing, so okay. Okay, so green works. All right, we've established that changing the color works. We've also established that it is 0 to 255. So the next question is, why would it always show up as white? Vertices. All right. Colors equals colors. It's possible that it's a URP thing, but that's sort of strange. If it does become that for now, I have a solution. Oh, hey, one of them's pink. So yeah, I'm thinking. Interesting. Whoa. Is it the light? What happened there, huh? Interesting. So, just the albedo. I'm not expecting any of these to do anything, but we can see here that the color's being set appropriately. I sent that. Ah, here we go. Lit materials only completely white with newest update. Okay. Doesn't look like any of these help. And the reflection there is wild. Need to tweak exposure to my needs, it says. Well, let's see if we can see it in here. I see a big fat nothing. Project settings. Wow, that's wide. Nice. So let's go down to our quad. You were pushing more gooey clips than you were popping. Uh-huh, sure. Fascinating. This is the room that we want. So Right now with my universal pipeline, it breaks the materials that they have on them. Well, that is fascinating. Well, let's create a new material, I suppose. And we'll drop that on there. Okay. And get rid of that. Go up to the game data. And we'll replace room with room 1. And we'll try this. I may have to go through and do some tweaks to the URP. That's the thing about having toys is failed to compile. I see it here. No, unlit would not be good. Standard flat out don't work anymore. This is fascinating. Oh, neat. I've never touched these before. They aren't what I need, but I thought that's kind of cool. So standard shader is purple in the URP. Oh, I guess we could turn it off. And then we'll fix this quad as well. In that we actually don't need to see it. So they don't get colored at all. But here it is. Huh. Well, whatever, I guess. Let's go back to project settings and check. It says... I don't actually see anything. Well, this isn't really a blocker for us. Just weird. I'll need to do some research on that. Figure out what exactly happened. But we can see that build works. So now we need to go through and work out the logistics. So we want, whether or not you're building or playing, we want to allow you to do mouse inputs, I believe. Yes. So these don't care. Debating if I want to put it up here or in the actual place scripts. Maybe place building should be on get mouse button up. Maybe. My thought process is because... No. I'm just thinking, because you want to be... If you're scrolling around with the mouse... Yeah, if you're scrolling around with the mouse, we don't want you to be able to place building. So we will actually... This logic can be ignored for now. As can this. And we will just grab mouse input. Can only happen here. Keyboard movement can happen at any point. This can also be gotten rid of. And let's see here. Zooming. And we'll also move zooming into play only. Actually, no. That's fine. So the idea here is we want to make sure we don't have clashing controls. And in play mode. We need to also obfuscate when you're raycasting. If you're underneath the GUI, we'll need to. I'll make a note of that. Okay. Realistically, that probably won't happen in the end product, and the reason for that is I'm thinking that most of the UI is actually going to be right over here, like in this corner. So you have all this play space to see things and maybe a few elements at the top. All right. And if it weren't, if we were just going to have the renderable space be up here, we would just snip and have just the camera, one camera load down here, one load up here. Okay. Whoops. Which would be something like that, just to give you an idea of what I was thinking. So you just have that there, and then you don't have to worry about raycasting underneath the stuff. Ah. Interesting. So that explains the bright white from earlier. That was me hitting the button for the button for the main menu. Okay, so that's resolved. We still haven't resolved why everything is white like that. That is fascinating to me. And it's white in the scene as well. Let's see. That shared component. That seems like a lot of work. I'll look into it later. So let's see. We have going back to our game, and if we go into right, Don't worry about that. We go into play mode. Hey, directional light, where are you? Oh yeah, that's interesting. Even with a slightly dimmer. And then, like I said, if you grab this value, cut it, and paste it, it is correct. I feel like I found an honest-to-goodness Unity bug. Whoops. Apparently I'm not the only person to have this issue. Yeah. All right. So, I'm going to really quick go through our code. The next thing that we need to figure out, and I'm actually going to just do random.range. Let's say 0 to 5. Whoops. Switch. Do this. We're going to say case 0, case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, case 5. And we'll actually do round to int. Okay. And we're going to just do manual colors here until we get that figured out. Equals color dot. How many colors we got here? Red. Let's just do them all real quick and find out. Blue. Green. Oh, whoops, we already got red. Our RGB, cyan, gray, magenta. Ooh, how exciting. What else we got? Yellow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we'll go up to 7 instead. Case 5, 6, 7. Let's do this. Like I said, it's kind of silly, but until I find out more about that bug, because we want to be able to differentiate our rooms a little bit visually. Right. Start at 0, so we don't need that. So, let's give it a go. Boop, beep, bop, beep, doop. Borp, deep, bop, boop, bloop. Yeah, colors. And we'll turn these off. Gotta get that screenshot stuff, you know, right? Okay, so one of the next things we need to do, other than extending the length of the raycast, eventually, potentially, is we need to assign on these objects a... Oh, what's the word I'm looking for? We need to assign on these a index for where they are. Like what square is this, for instance? It's purely arbitrary because since we're using a material to render, or we're using a quad to raycast against, we don't actually care about the 0 point or any sort of math logic in that regard. So with that in mind, let's do some thinky panic. So this should be position equals, let's switch this up. log format. Just so much easier to read. So it's hit.point.x divided by this, and hit.point.z, I think. Think that'll work. So now we're going to build. Ah, that is not correct. Point 1, 2. So the placement position was actually 0, 2. So is it just that I need to round to int? Yeah, I think it is. Mathf.round to int. Might even be floor to int, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Because it's actually not the hit point that we want. We don't need this at all. Control Z! Escape! Nobody saw this. Let's act like it never happened. Alright, friends. Let's see. One, 2. 2, 2. So that's X and Y. So this should be 2, 3. Okay. 1, 3. 0, 2. 0, 3. 0, 0. Oh, and this actually makes sense because this is where the main room would be when you're first coming in. Because obviously we would be looking at it from hereabouts. And so you'd be coming in and starting, you would have this room already, and that's where you'd see the grandfather. You see your grandfather, and you come in, and then you start expanding rooms from there. Awesome, okay. So now, when those rooms are placed, we actually need to send a little scrippy. Let's go over to the mansion, which works basically as our game controller. And we can get rid of all this nonsense. We don't care about that no more. We can get rid of this. Get rid of this. What else? Technically, we can get rid of this for now. This is good. Now, on room place is what we're actually... so we don't even need... So that our camera, we don't care about this anymore. I mean, like, we might eventually, but for now we don't. This is all good logic, because we want to make sure that you don't place a room where... you don't place a room where... thinking... words. Where there's already a room. So really, we just want to grab this code, remove it from here. It may come back eventually. You never know where things are going to be in the end. And now, We need to grab this. Grab these two pieces of... So first things first, we are getting our position. And down here, we need to take this math, do that. So this is currently a vector to int, which is correct. Vector to int, and that'll be position.x, position.z. Okay, so that should work. And then this is now this code. Right, okay. And then room, whoops. Don't need this anymore. Room to add. Okay, that's all good. And then position. Vector to int, and this will be tile position equals this. That can be this and this. And then we need to go to the prefab and do a little bit of work there. Clear, that's fine. Wait. Yes, we're still fine. Save. Get rid of that. Let's get this out of here so it stops annoying me. Okay, so this is our basic room. Yes. So we'll take that. We'll go into game data. Well, actually, first, we do actually need to make a prefab of it, so this wasn't incorrect. Because we need to go into the prefab, and we need to actually add the room script. We can go into the room a little bit, strip out a few things. That's all good. We don't need this. The rest of this... We don't need this anymore. This is how much we get rid of by making it 3D. Cool. Did I get rid of? I didn't think I did. Oh, maybe I did. What we actually wanted to do was just that. There we go. Private set, public getter. Okay. Save that. Go back here. For a brief moment there, pray that we weren't about to get screwed by Unity breaking again. Save everything. Save again. Hit play. Okay. Whoop. Null reference. Oh, right. Okay. So. So we had this show up as a null. So if it's a null, can build room is true. Oh, we can get rid of this. Does not matter anymore. Because again, we've made this so much easier on ourselves by making it 3D. And that really, I mean, that's what you're gunning for. You just want it to be easier. Because then you get it done. Blip, blorp, bleep, blop, bloop. And then if we click here again... Oh, no, it did. It's changing color, but it's not putting down another building. Oh, that makes total sense because it's looking for the room, and then if it finds one, it uses that instead. Ah, right, because we used to do camera focusing on the room that you just built, which we could still do down the road, but we'll make a note here. Okay, so then else return. It is assigned. Oh, dang it. Okay, cool. So now we've got our room logic back to basically where it was before. We no longer have to worry about things sorting. We do need to have our menu not load more scenes. And the way we would do that is, well, the normal flow really would take care of it, but so, well, it says it's deprecated. I wonder what they expect you to do anymore. Private void start. Button dot interactable equals false. And later we'll need to fix that so that when you go back, they turn back on. Although realistically, what'll actually happen is this scene will just unload while the other stuff's running. Or maybe not, actually, because the event system's there. Maybe I'll move the event system to the GUI. I don't know. We'll see. I'll figure it out. Now, we should see that this button should be not interactable. Okay, cool. That wasn't even close to the right word. What'd you say? Oh, I suppose. Let's see here. So, we need to adjust the length of our raycast. It's currently at 100. Gonna need you all to look away. I'm not raycasting to infinity. If anyone asks, that's not what happened. Because that would be irresponsible. Infinity's a long distance. Technically, it's an undefined length, but... Alright, there we go. Whether or not we'll want you to be able to click that far away, I don't know. We'll figure out. But, yeah. So, cool. I'll fill this in. And then I think that's a good stopping place for today. Maybe. We'll see. I'll think about it. Are these getting added to my game data? They are. Boop, beep, boop, bop, beep, boop, beep, boop, bop. Now, are they getting cleared? They are. Cool. Okay. Wow, really? So, I had added 80-some buildings? You just don't quite realize how many... So maybe we'll make it so that it's an even 100, perhaps. Which it might actually already be. Nope, it is not. You can currently have 110 rooms. So we would want to shave off probably 10? Is that right? Let's see. Oh, right, but what I didn't like was it hanging off the side. Yeah, that just looks... I mean, you wouldn't even know as the user, but I would know, and that's what matters. I suppose there's no real reason why it should be just 100 instead of 110. It's all just numbers at the end of the day. Yeah, it was still 110 anyways. So... this would make it line up, right? Yep. And then that would be exactly what we need, I'm pretty sure. And then these are quite big rooms, but we can always make them bigger. Hmm, 90. Ah, that's fine. We'll just go back to what we had before. And maybe I'll adjust the dimensions of the rooms or something down the road. Who knows? I don't really care. Right, and then 45 was so that 0, 0 was right here. I remember. I imagine that that's actually what's coming into play here, and that's why this certain distance was half off. So that makes sense. Yeah, because if you have... because we want 0, 0 to be here, which it is. So Z at 45 makes total sense, because that's exactly where we want that to be. And that's 5, 5, 9, and 9. So 0 to 9, so that's 10. So that's 10 back. That makes sense as well. Okay, yeah, that's fine. So then we would have a room by default in here. And it would be at 0, 0, 0. Casual observation shows that... right. Interesting. Oh, not interesting at all. Okay. There we go. That was weird. I I was deeply confused for a moment. Okay. This is our main room. The really tacky thing that we could do is find it and add it at the start, which I believe is what we were previously doing. That won't work once we actually start making the game work proper. But, you know. Okay. So I think that, actually, is good, because now it's adding them to the data. And if we come over here, we can see that it adds that main room first, and then we can, from there, start building around it. We won't be able to build in front of it by design, and I'll be able to place a larger world environment underneath this to flesh it out. You know, for right now, it's just like a hovering thing. And then obviously this material, we're going to need to add a grid pattern to it of some kind, probably. And then what I want to do is wherever a legal spot is, when it's time, when you're ready to build, it would show spots you could click on, as opposed to dragging and dropping, probably. Because I think being able to just click it will be functionality that works both in PC and on mobile without much extra work. Yeah. So that was fairly fruitful. All right. I may stream again tomorrow, and we'll do some more stuff and make more progress. And yeah. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.